come over from Yass tonight. Always good to get over to Goulburn. Some of you I would have met in the last federal campaign where I ran for Labor in the city here. But at the moment I'm running a business and involved in various things over in the Yass community. I just want to start out by saying a couple of things. Firstly, I'm not a member of a union. And secondly, I'm not going to tell you tonight that you should join a union. So I might just go home now, if that's okay. But no, I'll explain. At the moment, I run a business, and there's no union for business owners. We employ staff, and we seek to be an excellent employer. But right now, I'm not a union member, but I am involved in lots of collective activity. And that's what I want to talk about tonight. Unions are a form of collective action where you work together to give people strength, who on their own they wouldn't have any strength, but when you work together you give them strength. So I'm involved in cooperatives, which is a form of people working of business that is owned by people, owned by ordinary members. On their own, they couldn't start a business, whether that's in healthcare or solar or agriculture, but when they work together, they can. So that's where I am involved. I'm actually the president of the business chamber in Yass, and you might be a bit shocked by that, but small business people in Yass are fantastic people who probably have a lot more in common with workers than I would have imagined. And by working together in the local business chamber, we're operating like a union. That is my union at the moment, as is my cooperative, as is the things like the PNC at school and the footy club committees that I've been involved with. All those things, if you did them on your own, you couldn't get anywhere but by working together. So I'm not a member of a union, but I'm very supportive of what you're talking about tonight. Secondly, I'm not going to say you should join a union, but I want and hope that you would be inspired to join your union, but also be inspired to join other forms of collective action in the community, and not just join them, but actually be an active contributor to them. Because a union or a cooperative or a PNC committee is only as good as the people who put themselves forward to get involved. And a lot of organisations, if you left them to everyone else, maybe they won't be so well run, but if you get involved and you've got talents to bring, don't just be a passive member of your union or any other organisation, get involved. So I'm not going to say you should join a union, but I really hope that you're inspired to get involved in making the world a better place through any form of collective action that you can get involved with to deal with the challenges and problems that you see in the community. Collective action is a bit of a dirty word for some people, and some of our political opponents will use a sort of sneer and when they talk about collective action. But in fact, it's the only thing that's ever changed the world, in my view. We talk about, starting with unions, people talk about there's only 20% or 18% of people who are members of unions. I don't care about that figure. The important figure when it comes to unions is 100%. Because 100% of workers in the private sector or the public sector, 100% of workers benefit from the work of unions over the years, unmistakably. The good conditions we have in Australia is because of the work of unions over the years. Unions have made Australia a better place. But even when you look at other areas, you like playing football, you don't go and kick the ball on your own in the park. No matter how talented you are, you're not going to get anywhere, but you join a team and together you bring those talents together. You might want to defend the country. You're not going to do it on your own with a stick on the border of Australia. You join the army and you work collectively. They are collective forms of action, like the business chamber, the army, the footy team. That's what unions are like. And I'm sick and tired of unions being used as a punching bag, or the word union being a dirty word, because it is exactly what we need across all of our society, is people working together to give strength to people who on their own would have no strength, but working together they have strength. I just want to quickly mention my sort of heroes from the past that relate to unions and cooperatives and this general theme. It's the toll puddle martyrs. People here familiar with the toll puddle martyrs? I love this story. Six guys in toll puddle in England in the 1830s were not happy with the fact that the rich landowners were not just treating their workers badly and not raising their wages, they cut their wages 3 years in a row. So these 6 guys, led by George Lovelace, set up the Friendly Society of Agricultural Workers, a union. And they stood up for the rights of all the workers. To form that union, they got everyone to swear an oath to support each other, to work together, to stick to their guns. And as a result of some obscure law in British law at the time, they were taken to court and charged and found guilty with illegal activity, and they were transported to Australia. 6 guys, and they were prepared to have their lives, destroyed in that way for the sake of their workers, and they never gave in, they never gave up, and they were transported to Australia. After a number of years, there was such an outcry in England that they were brought back and pardoned and allowed to live. But that was the beginnings of the union movement in England, and I think that story just is inspiring. That's what unions are about, people sacrificing for their fellow person to give them a better life. They're the things that change the world. So just in conclusion, if you care about any issue in the society, don't try and do it alone, work with others. If you care about healthcare and you can't get doctors, I'm involved with a health cooperative. You can start a health cooperative and the ordinary people can take charge of that issue. If you care about solar energy and renewable energy, do what the people in Goulburn are doing and starting a solar co-op I've been reading about, where people working together can do something they couldn't do alone. And if you're a worker, if you're an employee, join your union, but get involved in your union. Bring your challenge to the union. Put your hand up, be a participant, because by doing that, you're not just going to give yourself and your fellow workers better paying conditions. By working together like that, you're going to make the world a better place. Thank you.